engineers are the ones who are now joining most. And most engineers do not offer engineering as a subject. Recently, at the St. Joseph Engineering College asked me to speak on turning engineers into civil servants. It was there were hundreds and thousands of people who joined in, and so I was explaining to them the engineers have an advantage and a great disadvantage. The advantage is that you will be very good with all the science aspects of the examination because physics, chemistry, mathematics, all these are in your brain. But somebody like me, for me, those things have to be studied separately. Then engineering students do not have the facility of wide reading when they are students. Because you're all engineering college, managers and teachers. Because how much time can you give them to read newspapers or a magazine or to listen to the BBC or CNN? They don't have time for that. They say, okay, we'll do that after our engineering. So most of them, I find them without any additional knowledge than what they have learned in the engineering institute. And that's a big challenge for us to turn them on to general reading and to encourage them to get interested in all subjects, culture, music, drawing, sports. And so, but the art students and science students in arts and science colleges get some of it anyway. So there the engineering students are this advantage in the sense of advanced knowledge in science and maths, etc. On the other hand, the disadvantage of not having been trained or not having been familiar with the life in general, they don't read any books, they don't read any novels, because they don't have any time. They don't write poetry, they're not creative, etc. But now what we find is 60% of all those who join the civil service are engineers, and about 10 to 15% are doctors. And that has changed the face of the civil service. In our embassy in New York, now we have 4 doctors. So if anybody has any illness, there is a colleague, and his job is diplomacy. So, and I have found that they have a different kind of an analytical mind, and they have transformed the service to such an extent that is not that you can philosophize over it. They are more precise in the analysis of issues, etc. And provided they have the linguistic skills and the and an extrovert nature, they can all do well as diplomats wherever they go. In the old days, we could not go to engineering or medicine if you wanted a civil service. Because by the time you graduate as a doctor or engineer, the age limit is already over. 23 is over. Then you cannot take the examination. And now because it's up to 32, you can do a PhD also and then come and take the exam. Work for PhD, make some money in the Gulf, or go to Price Waterhouse and make some commission, and then come and take the civil service examination all the time in the world, up to 32. And if you are in a third category, even more, many number of chances. But it's not worth it. You must get it when you are early, otherwise you will have to retire as a joint secretary and not as a secretary to the government. And so that's also a factor. Many engineering graduates are considered unemployable. You go to Infosys, they'll say, we'll put you under training for 3 years. Forget what you studied. We'll teach you again. Right? And that challenge is very much there for engineering graduates. So they find an easier way to try for the civil service without having to relearn a new kind of engineering. Yes. And since they are generally have basic intelligence and knowledge, etc., they find. But the numbers are high because the numbers competing are high. See, in my class of 90, say, aspirants, 65 or 70 of them are engineers. Okay. So when I get 12 into the service, 8 of them are engineers. It's not because of the others are bad or this is big, but more and more engineers are taking the examination, essentially because they don't get a job which suits their, unless it's where they go abroad or they are IIT graduates, etc. But even IIT graduates take the civil service examination. There it's a different game altogether. So they, having got the highest degree possible in India, they want to really apply their knowledge and wisdom to country's development. With that, genuinely, I'm not exaggerating. People, I have asked them, IIT, they have done 2 years in Facebook, and then they come and take the civil service election preliminary examination. But they know that all his life he would be only doing, say, selling toothpaste or selling paints if you are in the corporate world. While here, every 3 years you do something very different and something which makes a difference to society. And so it's all a mixture. So one statistics say that is the maximum engineers join the service. Another statistics show that the most people who lose out at the interview stage are the engineers. Such a statistics also I saw. And therefore there is something lacking when it comes to personality test. There are more engineers losing at the interview stage than at the earlier stages. So if you're a philosophy graduate or a literature graduate, etc., they seem to do better once they pass the written examination. While engineers do the written examinations well, but when they go there, they find their language inadequate or their thoughts not very clear. And so all these statistics are published. It's available. Most engineering and medical students who come to the civil service, they come for the interview. They say, why are you giving up your medical education or engineering education on which so much money has been invested by the government, right? And now you're throwing it all away for the civil service. Then many of them give a stupid answer. I want to serve the nation, right? I keep telling them, please, for God's sake, don't say serve the nation, because the sweeper serves the nation better than you. Right? So don't say that. Courageously, bravely tell them that I want to join the best service in the country and I want to try for it. That will be the most honest answer. You agree, Swamiji? Because you don't know what you are able to do, you don't know what service you do for the country, but the understanding is, general consent is that for a young man, the most desirable thing is to do that. And so there must be many things waiting for me. And I'd like to go and try and use it and try what I can do with my engineering skills. And I know that engineers and doctors have become great administrators also. So this is it. So it's not that, you must have a immediate objective of your doing something. And then what within that, whether you go to the foreign service or income tax or you go to police, etc., depends on your personal taste and attributes and attitudes. So that's what I would tell them. Try for the best service you can get. Now, where there is no discrimination of any kind. You don't have to be rich, you don't have to be powerful, you don't have to be anything. Till today, I have not heard anybody influencing the UPSC with any of these attributes. So it is you are tested, you want to get the best, so I'm here. That should be the approach.